to Teja Statistics. In this class, we are going to discuss about designs of sampling surveys. So, we have to learn some definitions of uh, before going to start. That is population. The group of individuals under the study is called population or a universe. The population may be finite or infinite. Next, sample definition. A finite subset of statistical individuals in a population is called a sample, and the number of individuals in a sample is called the sample size. Next, sampling error. The error involved in such approximation is known as sampling error and is inherent and unavailable in any and every sampling scheme. Next, parameters. The statistical constants of the population are known as the parameters. Next, the statistics definition. The statistical measures computed from the sample observations alone of the sample are called statistics by R.A. Fisher. The statistic, which may be regarded as an estimate of the population parameter or parameter obtained from the sample, is the function of. Next, sampling. The very important definition, that is sampling. The process of drawing samples from the uh, population is called sampling. Next, the sampling distributions. The aggregate of the various values of the statistics under consideration, so obtained one from each sample, may be grouped into a frequencies distribution, which is known as the sampling distribution of the statistic. Example, the mean or variance. So the symbols x bar and sigma and so on. A very important concept, that is standard error. What is a standard error? The standard deviation of the sampling distribution of a statistic is known as the its standard error. Let's see some of the formulas for the statistic and its standard errors. X bar, sigma divided by root n. Observed sample proportion P under root of PQ divided by N. Sample standard deviation sigma square divided by N. S square, sigma square divided by under root of 1 divided by N. Quartiles 1.36263 sigma divided by root n. Median 1.25331 sigma divided by root n. Y is the sample correlation coefficient 1 minus s square divided by under root of n. S be the sample correlation coefficient, or we can call it as rho also. Okay, here the symbol they wrote as rho. Okay, next mu3 sigma cube divided by under root of 96 divided by n. Okay, and mu4 sigma to the power of 4 divided by under root of 96 divided by root n. The coefficient of variation, the coefficient of variation, that is v divided by under root of root n. These are some statistics and their standard errors. Let's see the principal steps in a sample survey. The main steps involved in the planning and execution of a sample survey is as follows. First one, the objectives of the survey. The first step is to define in clear and concentrate, okay, concrete terms in the objectives of the survey. Next, defining the population to be sample, the aggregate of objects from which sample is chosen, be defined in clear and uh, unambiguous terms. For reasons of practicability or convenience of the population to sample is different. Next, the frame and sampling units. The population must be capable of division into what are called sampling units for purpose of sample selection. The distinct, ambitious, and non-overlapping in the sense that every element of the population belongs to one and only one sampling unit. Sometimes list, map, or other acceptable materials are called the frame. Next, the data to be collected. The data should be collected be in the view of the objectives of the sample survey. Next, questionnaires and or schedule. The survey, the sample survey is the construction of questionnaires or schedule of inquiry which requires skill specified techniques as familiarity with the subject matter under study. Next, method of collecting information. The two methods of commonly employed for collecting data for human populations are interview method and mail questionnaire method. In this method, investigators go to house and interviews the individuals personally. Mailed questionnaire. In this method, the questionnaire is mailed to the individuals who are required to fill it up and return it duly completed. Next, seventh, non-respondents. Quite often, the data cannot be collected for all the sample units. This incompleteness is called non-response. Next, selection of proper uh, sampling design. The relative cost and time involved should be considered before making final selection of the sampling plan. Next, the principle of statistical regularity. The theory of sampling is based on the following important principles. First of all, the principles of statistical regularity. The law of statistical regularity lays down that moderately large number of items chosen at random from a large group are almost sure on the average to process the characteristics of the large group. This principle stresses that each and every unit in the population has an equal chance of being selected in the sample. Next, the principle of validity. This principle enables to obtain valid tests and estimates about the parameters of the population. Next, principle of optimization. This principle enables efficiency and cost of the design with resources, sampling and non-sampling errors. The errors involved in the collection, processing, analysis of a data may be broadly classified under the following two heads. First one, sampling errors and non-sampling errors. The sampling errors have their uh, origin in sampling and arise due to the fact that only a part of the population